Hi guys, season 11, episode 4. We're back for a big FA Cup round 2 game away to League 2 Crawley. They're sitting third in the league, so it's going to be a tough game. Previously beat Fleetwood from the same league, mid-table, in the previous round. Since that win, we've been doing better in the league. Let's have a look how we've got along in the league games. So the next game, we went away to Chester and we got back on the winning trail in the league. After 3 successive 3-2 defeats, we won 2-1 at Chester. Jordan Westwood on 9 minutes. Penalty equaliser from Will Collar for Chester. And Westwood again on 23 minutes. Back in form. After he'd not scored in that cup game, winning the Man of the Match award with 8.9. And a pretty good performance overall against a Chester side they were expected to win. Next game was another 2-1 win. Home to Notts County, and this again was another good performance. A crowd of 1,721 and another double for Westwood. 28th minute and a 54th minute penalty before Notts County got the consolation from the penalty spot. Also 2 minutes from time, and Westwood getting the man of the match again. But again, good performances. Luke Gray 7.1, so 2 wins in a row. We then lost to Yeovil. Yeovil are up there, I think they're 4th in the league. They took the lead on 34 minutes from Fraser Walker. Trusty quickly got us back on level terms on 39. But shortly after that, Frank Blake, who's their top scorer, made it 2-1, and that's the way it stayed. We didn't play too badly at all, but you've got to say Yeovil were the better team. Again, Jordan Westwood getting the man of the match, although not scoring on this occasion. He assisted Trusty's goal. 2-1 wins in the league, followed by a 2-1 defeat. We then had another 2-1 in our last game at home to Welling. We changed to a 4-4-2 this one. 2 players suspended, Jordan Fuhrer and Luke Gray, both picking up the 5th yellow cards in the game against Yeovil. So they were missing, so we had to rejig slightly. Frankie Edwards came into the midfield with Charlie Finney. Finney, we bought him in as our backup to Fuhrer, and he had a good game with 7 marking. We took the lead early on. Ashright, an own goal. It was an Edwards shot that went in off the central defender and completely wrong-footed the keeper. Westwood then made it 2-0 after 27 minutes. And second half, Welling came back into it. He scored on 61 minutes, but we managed to hold out. Crowd a little bit down on this one, as usually is the case when you're playing a team from down south. Only 13 away supporters out of a crowd of 1124. Another win, so 3 wins out of 4 games in the league. So today we're playing in the second round against Crawley away. We've also been drawn away in the FA Trophy, which is the next match-up in midweek after this one, to Spennymoor, who are National League North. So a good chance of getting through in that one. But what we need is to get through in this game against Crawley and get a big tie in the third round to get some money in. This game against Crawley is not likely to be a massive money raker, because there's only 1,550 tickets being sold. So similar to crowd we probably have got, and not very good for a team that's 3rd place in League 2. So let's have a look how we're lining up then today. Suspended players Fuhrer and Gray are back. Just a 1-match suspensions for them. So we've got the back 4 that did well in our previous game. Macaulay in goals, of course. Skipper, Cull, right back, Brian, left back. 2 new players that we bought playing central defence have filled these full-back spots very well in recent games. Florio and Critchlow are the centre-backs. Edwards has come in and he did well in this defensive midfield role, playing just in front of the back 4. Fuhrer returns after his suspension. Banks had a good game against Welling and he keeps his place. The front 3 are Trusty in his shadow striker role. Burling comes back in, he was rested last game. And Keenley side, after being out injured and coming on a sub recently, is now fully fit to play 90. And we're resting Jordan Westwood. He's a bit jaded and it's been saying he's been wanting a rest, but he will probably come off the bench at some point. We've got no keeper on the bench because Sinclair played in the under-18s earlier today or yesterday and isn't available. A bit of a boob by me, that one, but we'll take the risk. We're not putting the grade out Brackenbury in. So we've got 9 outfield players as sub. Higby and Atwood, central defenders. Fielding, utility player. Finney, Hinchy as central midfielders. Luke Gray comes back after suspension. McIntyre and Vicente on the left, and Westwood, our top scorer, up front. As you can see there, he's high risk of injury, a little jaded and could do with the rest, so he's going to get a little bit of a rest. We'll see how we go. We'll see how Keenley side does in his poaching role. He's been wanting to play up front, and his recent minutes have been on the wing. Here's his big chance. We're going in cautious in this 4-1-2-1-2. It's a slight change with Edwards playing in front of the back four. So let's get into the dressing room and G the boys up for this big game, and hopefully we can get a third round tie. So pre-match team talk then. First here, Jordan Fuhrer is not aggressive, he's composed for this one. He must have calmed down after he'd had sat out that last match through suspension. But Sam Fielding on the bench is motivated already before we've said anything. I'm going to go with what Gianluca's saying. There's no pressure on any of us today. Go out and play with that freedom. Point finger and say that. No response whatsoever. So let's get into the match. Crawley lining up with a 4-4-2, and we have a slightly changed format of 4-1-2-1-2. So let's kick off then. Skip the teams coming out, and we're into this big game. They of course are favourites, slightly odds on at 8-11. We are 7-2. Of the league form, we've won 4 and lost 1 of our last 5 games. They've won 3, lost 2, but obviously they are higher level. They got quite well beaten in their last league game, 4-2. Nothing much happening so far, and 2 shots in all, nothing on target. And we've just had a second one, but there's nothing happening. Couple of yellow cards for them, and looks like it's a bit of a stalemate so far. But they have the momentum, and not a single highlight for the first half. And we get to half time at 0-0, a cagey game this one. Jordan Fuhrer looks like he's been used to playing a more direct game than us today. Let's have a look then in the dressing room. Who is not playing well? Keenley side at 6.5, Brian at 6.5, only Jordan Fuhrer showing up in green with a 7. Keep going, we can win this, I'm going to say that one. Pump fist, and that's made Brian a little happier and motivated Florio and Trusty. So let's get into the second half then. We'll keep it as it is for now, and AI has made the usual halftime sub, and we get into the first bit of the second half with a little bit of momentum, and 4 shots, nothing on target for them at all. So we'll keep it that way. We haven't had anything on target either, so it's a very much of a poor match is this one. We're going to make some I was going to make some changes, but we've got a highlight here. Brian throws into Edwards. Edwards right across to right back Cull. Plays it into Berlin, who's very deep there. Looks like he's playing in midfield, who gives the ball away, and it's Crawley now, but Banks takes the ball off him. It's one of those highlights where it's going to change possession a bit. Berlin knocks a long ball to nobody in particular. What was that, Berlin? He's in the corner, is Wilson. There's some strange passing going on here. We've picked it up. Fuhrer dives in, tackle, Keenley side, and just wide. What a strange highlight that one was. To-ing and fro-ing. Let's have a look at making some subs then. We're on nearly 72 minutes. Keenley side not taking his chance, playing up front. 6.2. 6.4 for Brian. Trusty and Berlin are the ones playing well. We're going to bring Westwood on. His rest is finished. Keenley side is just not doing anything up there. So Westwood comes on for the last 20 minutes or so. And Brian at 6.4. Do we change him? I haven't really got a left back on. It would mean moving Critchlow out there. I'm going to bring Critchlow over to left back, and we'll bring Atwood on. Atwood's been moaning about not playing, and we had a bit of a standoff and told him to do well in training and get his place. So we're going to give him some time. Atwood comes on and Critchlow moves out to left back. I think we're going to move to balance. We've certainly had as much of the game as them. So those are the 2 changes. Last 20 minutes plus added time, and at highlight ends, they've had the most better of the momentum, but not that much, and it's a highlight for us. Fuhrer knocks it in. Cull at the far post should really have scored then, and it's over the bar. A good free header there, and he should have scored. And they've had a shot on target. Make some more subs then. Banks at 6.5, Edwards at 6.5. We're going to bring Luke Gray on. and we're going to put him on attack. Let's bring Hinchy on. We've changed more to our normal formation there with a 4-3-1-2. So 4 subs in total. We've got 1 in hand should anybody get injured. And it's going, we haven't had a shout at all. Let's demand more. It's a highlight for them just near the end. They're not going to take the lead, are they? We really need to get in this hat for this third round draw. Probably get a replay. And they're playing it around, teasing us. Wilson, go on, play it all the way back. And he plays a long ball in. Fiora, what you doing? That would have gone through to our keeper. This is really weird. Oh, he hit the post and he's knocked in the rebound. Liner's got his flag up. He's offside. Yay! He won't stand. Saw the linesman there. So, a let-off there. And it looks like it's going to be a replay. A 0-0 draw, which is a good result. We didn't have a single shot on target. They had 2. We've got away with that a little bit, I think. A bit toothless with Crawley in that game. And Tom Macaulay must have made some saves because he's got the man of the match at 7.3. Defence playing well. And we've got into the hat for the third round and a home replay. So let's say that was a satisfying result. Nobody gave us a chance. Yeah, we'll go with that one. And continue. And a 0-0 draw. How did Bradford City go on? They were playing, they've got a 1-1 draw on to South Shields, so they're in the hat as well. So a lot of teams going into that. We'll see the draw. The Colchester match has been moved, so the replay is on the 15th. So quite a way away. And the Spennymoor game stays where it is. So let's see if we can get through to the draw for the next round. So the FA Trophy 4th round draw has been made before we played the 3rd round, and we've been drawn away to Port Vale or Bolton. If we dispense with Spennymoor, 3rd round draw is coming up before the Spennymoor game. Here we are, FA Cup 3rd round. 71 teams will go into the hat for 32 matches to be drawn. Premier Division teams entering the competition, along with Championship teams, of course. View draw, and let's start the draw. As I say, usually when I'm not showing these draws on camera, I go through to where our draw is, but let's play them all through. Newcastle against Charlton, Forest against West Ham, all the Premier teams coming out. Reading against Ipswich, Swansea against Arsenal, all the teams that are just coming into the competition, just coming out first. Hull against Stevenage, Wolves against Brentford. Not one replay has come out yet. Liverpool against Bournemouth. Wimbledon against Leeds. Norwich against Sunderland. Not one single replayed match has come out yet. Derby against Stoke. Crewe against Forest Green or Grimsby. West Brom against Sheffield United. Millwall against Yeovil. We're going to get going here for a while. Everton against Bristol City. Sheffield Wednesday against Leicester. Luton against Watford. Oxford against QPR. Still not a replayed match come out. Brighton against Doncaster. Birmingham against Barnsley. Southampton against Villa. Swindon against Preston. Crawley or Bradford Park Avenue were at home. We need somebody who we can get through against. Otherwise, if we play a big team, we'll just get 4,000 in. We need a big payday. Who's it going to be? Chester or York? Teams in our league. So we've got a good chance of getting through. If we can beat Crawley in this replay, we play Chester or York. Let's run the draw to the end. There's the full draw. Just scroll through it if you want to see anybody who might. Wrexham against Chelsea, that'll be a television game. Man City against Salford. Bradford City, if they beat South Shields in the away game, are away to Man U FC. And those are the other games. Harrogate, a home game against Wigan. A good draw for us if we get through against Crawley. We could be playing in the 4th round of the FA Cup. What a feat that would be. So Chester or York, we've beaten both those teams this season, so just a matter of getting past Crawley. If we can keep them as quiet as we did at their ground, then we have a chance. Westwood will start that game. So let's have a look at the schedule and probably come back for that game. I'm going to play off camera the replay, and then we'll come back for the FA Cup third round tie against Chester or York, should we get through against Crawley. If not, Bolton away. That's the team that offered me a interview. I could have got a job there probably. So end of January we're going to come back, or before if we get in the FA Cup third round. So thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again next time. This is Dave Dog for now. Goodbye.